Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 25th episode in our Age of Wonders 3 co-op strategy series. In this series, Evan and I have been taking on 6 Emperor computers, and we finally narrowed it down to 1. We're kind of pushing towards the Goblins' main base down here. It's underground in this portion of the map. Actually, Evan found it. It's Tumak right here. So we have a few different ways of approaching it. The bulk of my forces that are going to be heading that way are actually coming from underground, while Evan is sending the bulk of his above ground. Hopefully we can kind of pin him in that area. I have these armies moving in this direction that are going to link up. 3 stacks that are all pretty good. I also have my King's army out here, which is kind of not really anywhere near the Goblins right now, but I've got a different task for them to go deal with. Evan did notice some Goblin units in this area, near this bay, that were kind of moving towards our land. We since believe they've since turned around, but just in case they show back up, I'm going to send one army down back to defend Angrenost area, just in case they need the help. And then this other army will continue following Evan and try to help support him. I'll probably add another Storm Sister to that group. Otherwise, that's pretty much everything I needed to discuss. There's a few other things I'll try to work in throughout the episode, but I'm going to go ahead and send us to the next turn so we can get this going. At this point, the game is fairly straightforward. We're closing in for the kill on the Goblins, and hopefully can get that pretty soon. Falling Clouds is 3 turns left, and I do look forward to that being gone, because I find that to be one of the more annoying global events. This army right here is going to go help guard Evan's new city, just to have some reinforcements there. And like I was saying, I'm going to send one of these archers back, because I want the extra healing with this group. Even though it already has 2 healers, they're probably going to take a beating. And then send this army out to help follow and support Evan's army wherever they go. Although they're going to be a little bit ahead of me. Once they move onto that tile, there we go. And then these units will go back to kind of guard the Angrenost area, just in case something shows up. With the falling clouds, something could show up and kind of surprise us. Probably should have taken out this Goblin hero that's just kind of sitting out here. Yeah, I should have gotten that. I don't know why I missed her. There's a part of that Goblin army Evan had seen earlier. Near the Mermaid City there. They might try to recapture that, but I think Evan had said in his video that it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. We probably won't build a whole lot of those Lords of the Deep before the game ends anyway. For my casting, I've finally hit the point where I have as many Necromancy upgrades as I can get, which is really good for me. I do want to finish off Advanced Logistics, just because that's a really useful ability to have. Yeah, it looks like she's running. Unfortunately, I don't have any units that can go over the water to intercept that unit, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll have to let her go for now. I don't think she's going to make much of a difference. This dwarf outpost down here doesn't have a lot. It would take me too long to really upgrade that to do anything useful. So I'm just going to set that as infinite produce merchandise and let it sit. Can't really spare an army to clear the structures on it right now. For many of my other cities, I've just been in the process of trying to upgrade them to where they can get the Palace of the Perished. I'm going to continue moving along that line. Start with the observatory, I think. That's a fairly useful building upgrade. And same thing here. City needs a laboratory. Actually, this city needs a siege workshop. I do have a ton of money right now, so just maximizing those casting points seems like the best idea. Harvester's Guild for this city would be good. I do like to build that very quickly, and it's very cheap to get. I didn't really think about using this city for ships, but that actually might not be a bad idea. Actually, there is something I want to check. Galleon warships. Well, I was kind of hoping they had armored, but they don't. I didn't really think they did. I thought it'd be nice to combine with the crystal tree. You do generally want to build ships in cities with the stone quarry near them. They can have a little bit more health and just be a little better. But I don't have any stone quarry cities on the coastline down here, at least. So I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, my orc city doesn't have it either. Evan won another battle out here. He tried to convert that hero, but unfortunately was not able to get it, so just have to live with that. He's in capturing a lot of Brown's leftover cities, and you can see there's the bulk of the Goblins' army, and it is all continuing to head back towards Evan. Fortunately, with his big, powerful army there, and my pretty powerful army behind it, I think we'll be fine. The only problem is mine's lagging behind, so hopefully I can find some haste berries in a useful place. Maybe that patch. Evan's closing in on the underground kind of quickly, though, so he may get there before I can anyway. There is a goblin army headed towards Engranos too, so it's probably for the best that I pulled some of my units back when I did. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can get them to Engranos in time to defend it. What I will probably do is I'm going to take this army that I've got sitting on that cave entrance, pop them underground just to see if there's anything there. There isn't, so I'm going to send them down to link up with that army. Link these two together and should be able to catch up with those goblins when they disembark. Maybe bring in this group too and just kill that army right where it is. Back here, I don't really see any reason to not build galleon warships. Just a few of them. I've got the money for it, and controlling units from flying or floating across that bay might be kind of nice. Yeah, there's really no reason not to do that. I don't need any of these type of upgrades in this city if that's what I'm going to do with it, because warships are a machine and don't benefit from any of those other structures, so I'll build a few of those. And I'll just continue building some of those embalmers guilds and stuff. I do want one more shock trooper here. I might stop building those soon. I haven't quite decided. I don't really have a reason to, actually. I guess most of my money's being spent on structures. I still have plenty for units if I want them, so I'm not sure what my dwarf army here should do. Could make a decent shipbuilding city out here, but at this point I don't think we need to worry about that. I will probably just have them guard this city. It's got all the structures in its territory that it really needs, so I'll just put them on defense out here. I think this game will be over faster and it wouldn't really matter. To prevent any surprises hitting this island city again, I'm going to station these units out here. Leave them on defense as well. It's one less army I'll have to manage every turn. This army can move just one more space. I did have my glutton down. Oh right, there was a city-state or a city quest out here that I was working my way towards. My units can embark now, so I'll send them out onto the water. Have that glutton lead them across. They should be able to catch up there and then finish that quest for those goblins. I still have plenty of time to get there, I think. 3 turns. Maybe not. Wonder if the dwarves can get in the water. Not quite. Nah, they're not going to be able to catch up. That's okay. I'll just try to do the best I can with it. I had created this Griffin Rider to try to track down a Goblin Shrine of Smiting that was somewhere in this area. I had kind of lost track of it. With this fog, it's making it much more difficult to locate. So I think I'm going to... Oh, there it is. It's pretty damaged too. Unfortunately, the Griffin Rider can't quite reach it, but I think this other one can. Not. Oh, wait, it could hit the haste. Yep, I could get the haste berries. Now, I could attack it on this turn. Both of those units are fairly weak, but I'm actually going to bunch it up with that Griffin Rider there, and then attack it with both units quickly on the next turn. I have an extra archer here in this city for some reason. I don't remember where that came from. Oh well, I'll just leave it on defense here, I guess. Okay, I'd captured this giant city out here, which pretty much secures... I don't think there's any... Oh, right, this army was going to go after that stupid Eldritch Pit that keeps spawning irritating things. I'll go get that. Get those haste berries to move a little faster, although it doesn't really matter because I'm going to have to cross mountains either way. It would have actually been faster to just depart from the city. That's the only scoundrel here. He can take that out. I'll just auto-combat that. It's a pretty easy win. Alright, then my king's main army. Just going to continue moving underground. I have spotted the cave exit that I'm going to use is right there. So it's not that far off. Could grab that mana there, I guess. But it's going to slow my army down if I do, and right now speed is more important. I should have grabbed it when I first walked past. When they pop up, they're going to be pretty close to those dragons that are out there, and that's going to be a decently challenging battle. I think I'll be fine, but there's a lot of them. There's like 3 bone dragons in that group, plus a bunch of other stuff. That's the one that's been threatening my orc city this whole time. As far as these units go, I need to kind of decide the best, quickest route to get to the goblins, and I think I like the southern route the most. It follows a road, and with advanced logistics, I'll be able to move along that really quickly, take that city out, and then move up into the goblins' main territory. That's probably what I will do. That army can actually pass this one up, which is nice, and then put them out in the lead. Okay, and that does that. A couple of things I did want to mention when we're going to the next turn here. Alex Gregory commented in episode 24. He said he encouraged me to use Deathbringers more often, which I'll probably make a few back here, but oh wait, I do need to attack this quickly. Almost forgot. Probable victory, so I'm going to have to manually combat this one. He suggested I build Deathbringers in my cities. At this point in the game, it's probably not going to do me a whole lot of good, but I may build 1 or 2. It would have been nice to have those earlier in the game, and he just cast Arachnid Horde, didn't he? Okay, I'm going to have to try to dispel that. I've got more casting points now, so... Whoops. No, I need to actually click on it. No, I failed the first time, but I have enough casting points now to actually get it on the next go. That's going to be an annoying issue, though. If they web my Griffin Riders, that's going to be a big problem. Well, that's nice. And the Shrine of Smiting somehow gets away. Again. This thing is being a pest. I'm going to have to send a full army out here to deal with it. Well, I'm not going to give them the pleasure of killing another unit. Of course they're going to web me. Alright, I have had enough of that little group. Try to grab that lucky clover field before they can get to it. And they just ran off back into the water, where I can't reach them. So I'm going to keep building Griffin Riders in that city for now. I had considered switching to Deathbringers, but with these things being a problem, I really need the flying units. The other thing Alex Gregory mentioned that I thought was really interesting, though, is he pointed out that Halfling Reanimators actually get Memories of Joy, which gives additional morale for the units in the army. That's great for a Necromancer, because they'd have very limited ways of getting that anyway. I'll take that piece, that's fine. They have very limited ways of getting happiness for their units anyway, and that's a really nice bonus. Plus, combined with Greyguard, having the extra happiness can increase my critical hit chance as well, with the right Empire upgrades. I probably didn't really need fertility rights there. Whoops. I just sort of clicked on something without thinking. What I really need is... I'd really like to have Dispel Magic. I'm going to grab Raise Dead, because that's just kind of a fun spell. And I wouldn't mind having some additional combat spells. But anyway, what he was saying was these Halfling Reanimators could be a really nice benefit to my army. And because this city can actually produce them pretty well, I'll build a Magic Academy first. I'm going to start building them down here. I think I'm getting close to having the Grand Palace in some of these cities now. I've been building structures like this in them for a while. And I have this giant city out here, which I'll probably build. I like the Earth Giants the best because of their boulder throwing ability. So I'll get some of them. And that Eldritch Pit's days are numbered. Well, since they can't make it to where I was thinking of sending them in time, I'll do what I was originally going to do and just send them back and have them defend. It'd be really nice if there had been some haste berries along the way here, but there are not. I might be able to just use a bunch of spells and then kill that army with the Glutton, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, Teal's army that they had here ran off somewhere else. I need to position my units next to Evans City and have them guard there, just in case those Exalteds come in and try to do anything. Do I have any flying units back here? I do not. Okay, well with the goblins having fallen back apparently, that opens up a route for this army to get through and get to this area near Anthoria and within range of Angrenost. Especially now that I have advanced logistics, I can make that trip in one turn. So I'll put them there and position this other army back on top of that cave entrance to keep anything from sneaking up on us. Just try to catch up with having there. I wish I could disembark them on this turn, but they just can't quite make it. So my King's army can go through here. I'll probably just really quickly take out this Haunted Boneyard so it stops spawning units, because I'm pretty sure this is what has been taking the dragon units. And there's actually a Teal city down here that I can capture too. Yeah, I've had about enough of these guys. That's a pretty easy auto combat, but I am going to do a manual just to try to get an extra Wraith. If I can get an extra Wraith, I should be able to send it out into that lava pool to the west and see if the goblins have any other straggling units or structures up there. Okay. Aw, that's too bad. That uses up their action points. And I just put that in the wrong... I put my Griffin Rider in the wrong spot. I was going to actually let that Lost Soul revive so I could kill this thing and revive it with Ghoul Curse. Could probably still do that. I would really like to have that unit to send it across those lava pools. There we go. Unless it attacks something and dies right away. Oh well. If nothing else, I got Storm Sisters some free healing, but that did not work out as I had hoped. So we'll just get rid of him. At least that stops those dragons from spawning down here. I'm surprised the goblins didn't get rid of that. I would think with all their Theocrat stuff, that would have been a fairly easy thing for them to destroy. I'm going to actually sell both of those. That takes care of one little irritating problem. Let's see if they have any significant number of units in this city. Just one Shrine of Smiting. I'll auto-combat that. Pretty easy win. And I can go up and out. Wondering how many movement points my army has left. Not really worth it to draw the attention of those dragons. I don't want to start a defensive battle when my units are damaged, so I'll have them wait there for one turn, since they're almost out of movement anyway. And just ghoul that city. Can't remember if that was one Evan used to control, or if that's new for me. Alright, so with advanced logistics, I can now move crazy fast down this road. And just do an all-out rush at the goblins. And we do have these issues out here where the goblins have bested me twice now at this city. I'm just going to hold ground in my city here for the time being. And have all my units camp while that city builds up a ton of archers, and maybe I can just overwhelm them later. This goblin army out here on the water is being just a pain in the butt. Hoping I can catch up with them soon. Probably shouldn't get too crazy sending units out. Okay, I'm being attacked. I don't think this was the group of units that I was... No, this is not the... I was hoping this was the one that I was sending units after, but that one didn't have undead units in it. The army that I was going after. These guys should pretty much be cannon fodder, though. Let's get a good hit in on this guy. Bye. One of my favorite things about that killing momentum is that you actually can kill something and go back into defense. That's almost just as good as being able to attack something twice. Yum yum. Delicious. I'll just have those guys attack them. I'm not sure what these lost souls are doing back here, why they're not moving up, but whatever. Okay. With all these high elf cities, I'm just gonna accept peace because I don't have armies in that area. Okay. This is getting in a little more interesting. The same army just got attacked by 4 bone dragons. Jeez. This battle's not gonna be quite as easy. I should still win. Just because they don't really threaten my undead units that much with their gas breath. Maybe my glutton can get lucky and eat one of them. My Storm Sister does not have inflict stun yet, which is kind of a problem for a battle like this. Just gonna let them all fly in and let their guard down. Okay, they're not even gonna bother using their gas breath. They're just going after that glutton. Pretty hard, too. Well, just gotta go for it. They can take a few hits from that thing at least. Storm Sister won't quite kill that dragon, but I need her to try to get the kill on a dragon. The Reanimators do some damage with their flanking bonus and the spirit weakness of the dragon. I think what I'm going to do is actually back the Reanimators up and use them more as a support unit. Move these guys here, have the Reanimators heal that glutton for a little bit of damage. Have them soften the dragon up just a bit more. He now has no action points. I still can't quite kill him. Glutton can't hit him again. I'll just have the archer soften him up. That should get her to level 4, and now I need to protect that Storm Sister, which might not really be very easy in this situation. Stuff's definitely gonna die here. there goes my glutton. Okay, that could have been worse, though. Let's get a single hit on him. Now that the Storm Sisters have stun, I may have a chance here. Okay, that helps a lot. That helps a ton. Just have him go get himself eaten. Take away some of that thing's action points. Then just revive him. Could actually have him attack again to take away the last action point. I will. He won't die. Shock Trooper does not have... Shock Trooper does not have War Cry yet. But with this thing having no action points left, I can pretty much just wail on it anyway. Okay. Animators have already used their heal undead ability. The Storm Sisters really need to try to stun something again. The dragon with more health. And I did get it. So that'll give me an opportunity to heal a few things after this battle. Unfortunately, I can't revive any of these things. They're too powerful. Greater reanimate undead I could. I'll wait a turn and heal. Need to heal that cadaver, else it'll die on the next turn because it'll give all the healing priority to a different unit. And I'd like my shock troopers to get the last kill. There we go. So that was a mess. Now it's possible that army is going to come after my army because they moved right there. And if I'm quick on the next turn, I can actually finish that quest anyway, because I still got, well, one turn left. I might fail it if they don't go after me. I want to make sure that they can even see me. But I don't have any units that can even move that one last space. So we're just going to have to hope for the best. I'll take that marked for death spell. It's interesting, if nothing else. More great temples, city improvements, masters guilds. The more spell points I have, the better. Which actually seems to be a pretty common theme in the late game, almost regardless of what class you're playing, except for maybe the Warlord. And I did run out of money, so I'm going to cancel that and let it just do merchandise. And I'm going to leave that galleon there until I got a decent sized group of them. Of course, can't afford to make a shock trooper at this city either. And out here, well, I guess I was trying to build up to a Palace of the Perished here as well. The temple is the next thing I need to build out there. Evan, is the army that's closer to my stack that's kind of following you? Okay, they're headed south. Okay. I think I'm going to pop mine down this closer cave entrance and see what's here. Actually, I can kind of look on the map and see what's there. That would take me very close to where their capital city is. We haven't actually discovered what's on the other side of that cave entrance yet. It's only one group, so this might be a little bit dangerous depending on what I run into down here, but I'd like to kind of get a peek at what the goblins have. Time for this little Eldritch Pit to die. Finally. Easy kill, crazed chicken. Actually really like that item, so I'm going to hang on to that. Goblin Rogue's also got 10 upgrade points. He leveled up during that battle. I like this inflict severely poisoned. I'll probably just get that. The rogue has some awesome abilities for his army, but I think many of them come later. Moving Target's a really good spell, though. I'm gonna get Moving Target. I really like that one. Probably grab Cloak and Dagger, too. Okay, I'm going to send the Goblin and his army back out into the snow. Have the Raptor continue up in this direction. There are a handful of monsters there, which actually kind of threaten Moldan. So I'm going to pull this army back and rely on these units to find Teal wherever he is. Actually, I can find out exactly where he is. If I send them back but use the Griffin Rider to fly out into the water, he's out here somewhere. Although I forget that he floats, so he doesn't actually have to embark. So it's kind of hard to tell where he could have gone to, because he's got a lot more mobility than I do. Alright, my king's army is ready to go up and slay some dragons. This battle has been long overdue. Computer says probable defeat, but I don't really believe that. If my other much less powerful army was able to take on that many dragons in the last battle, I think this one will be fine. It would be nice for me to kill this horde, though, before it gets too close to me. Particularly before those other dragons catch up. Now, I have 2 stunners in this army, and I'm going to have to make very good use of them. Gonna go let those bone collectors go charging into my orcs. And just let the front line take the first hit. Orcs took almost no damage from that. But those dragons are pretty much already caught up. They move pretty fast. Those things are pretty resistant to inflict stun. They do have a lot of resistance. This one is much more likely... Oh, well, should have targeted this one in the first place anyway. It had its guard down, the other one didn't. I could have actually broken the guard with one of my shock troopers, but it's alright. He's got... They both got Warcry. I think I'm just going to wipe this thing out. And then they can take out... They could take out the Carrion Bird too. But I think I'm going to leave them there on defense. And let my king take out the Carrion Bird from the back with some range attack. He's got to have something in here. Shoot longbow will probably work. Maybe. Yeah, I got it. And that should be enough to keep their tougher units off of my Storm Sisters for another turn. Poison does almost nothing to me. Alright. Now I need to start trying to stun those dragons, especially since they've all let their guard down. Got one. Did not get that one. Go War Cry and try to kill that in 2 hits. Didn't quite get it. Keep him on defense and see if I can... how much damage I can do to that dragon. I would much prefer not to lose one of these guys. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about them panicking me. Gonna have my king patch him up. That's really all I can do on this turn. This guy might flank. No, he went after the Griffin Rider, which was actually fairly unconsequential. Now, one of the things that I need to remember to do that, I think it was Alex Gregory told me this, yeah, no, it was Matthew Hallahan, reminded me to use Greater Reanimate Undead and possibly Control Undead to get Bone Dragons. Control Undead actually wouldn't work because they have Mind Control immunity, but Greater Reanimate Undead should. So let me see if I can find where one of these Bone Dragons is dead. Or just kill another one. I'm not sure where the first one dropped. Alright, I'm going to try to stun these things. And no good on that one. Okay, there we go. We got one. I think the Griffin Rider would be very useful in this situation to turn this guy around. I'll take a pretty nasty hit there, but Shielded Dispassion definitely helps. He can kill those Lost Souls and then kill the Bone Dragon. And now that I know where the Bone Dragon dropped, I can reanimate it. I have a Bone Dragon. Something I should have done in battles a while ago. And then, I think with this being the only unit left, I could have used Control Undead to try to get one of those Bone Collectors too. I didn't really feel like the opportunity ever presented itself in that battle. I was kind of playing it safe, but that would have been an option as well. That Bone Dragon will make a very nice addition to my King's main stack. The only problem is its morale is low because it's dedicated to evil. But I think it'd still be worth having around. I'll probably switch it for one of the Shock Troopers. Well, yeah, I'll switch it for one of the Shock Troopers. That way I have 2 flying units as well. Kind of give my army some variety. I could just keep them all together too. They're probably going in the same direction pretty much. Actually, now that I think of it, the King's army would probably be better off staying underground too. There's more things to capture down there and not so much above ground. So I will send them back into the tunnels. Hopefully I can just keep that dragon's morale up really high simply from winning battles. It's not that low. It's just kind of slightly low. The king also got another upgrade there. I will let that stack again so I can get some of that other stuff down there. Undying might be kind of nice on my king. I could use him a little bit more aggressively. One thing I just noticed down here, Age of Death will be ready to cast on the next turn. And have them defend at that point until those animals decide what they're doing. Almost wonder if this raptor might be good enough to take out all of them. probably wouldn't risk it, though. And that looks pretty good. Wow, so many notifications. First things first, casting this as fast as I can. Yay! Each time a battle is fought, there's a 35% chance that units that fell will return from the grave as ghouls under your control. That counts for Evan's battles too, as far as I know. That's a very, very good spell. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They popped in and took the city again behind me. Man, this army's being a pain. Okay, I can get them on the next turn, though. They're not going to escape all of that. I can finally get them out of my land. Well, now that I know where they are, I'll send that Griffin rider more towards the front lines. Did get a race governance upgrade with the Draconians. Can make their support units cheaper, or my leader and all my Draconian heroes receive plus 10 casting points each. I actually prefer the casting points in this situation, but I think it might only apply to a Draconian leader. I don't think it does, though. I'm going to try it just to test that. It does apply to my leader regardless of his race, but for my heroes they have to be Draconians to take advantage of that. That's really nice. Projectile resistance is another useful one for a rogue to have, so I probably should grab that. And I'll go ahead and get Inflict Severely Poisoned, just because I like that. In fact, Taunt. Taunt's a useful one too. Although it doesn't work on units with Mind Control immunity, and a lot of their units do have Mind Control immunity, so I'll have to consider that. With this fog gone, I can now actually see again, which is nice. Cities growing into metropolises. There's a decent goblin army moving down through the tunnels here. Looks like they're going to try to go after Moldan. Fortunately, I can put a stop to this pretty easily now. Because I have that road and advanced logistics, I can take the army that's in Moldan, put it underground to defend that city much more efficiently. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't see any reason why not to do that. This Draconian Raptor should be able to get almost to that city on the next turn. And I'll have another unit in there to help defend it against any straggler animals if they show up. In fact, this army could actually reach on this turn. I'm just going to take these guys out now. Now there are 2 Shrines of Smiting in this battle, so I have to be careful. And if they cast Arachnid Horde, that's going to be even worse, because I actually don't have any casting points left on this turn. So on second thought, I'm going to abort that attack, because Arachnid Horde has already ruined me twice, and I'm going to wait until the next turn and then attack them quickly. Which makes 2 battles I have to do quickly on the next turn, but this one down here is probably more important, as irritating as that other army has been. Can build a Palace to the Perished right down here finally, which is what I've been working towards this whole time. This city finally finished what it was doing. Harvester's Guild seems to be a good place to start. I'm not going to bother running back and getting that extra research at this point. I think moving along is probably the better decision. gonna do a quick battle here and just do an auto combat. And that's what I was hoping would happen. I just got all 4 of those units as ghouls. So my king couldn't have converted them, couldn't have reanimated them, because they were living units. I think that was all the, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was all due to Plague of Undeath, or Age of Death, sorry. Well, that's kind of neat. It's another army I can send out to be irritating somewhere. Actually, I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. Oh, I know what I could do with them. This pesky city down here that beat my archers before. I'll send them in and have them help my archers attack it. They just kind of happen to be in the perfect spot for that. Well, now seems like a good time to have that builder go do its thing. We'll build a road through here. And that will allow my archers to get there on the next turn, as well as that other army. And just for good measure, I'll bring extras. I'm going to capture that city. That makes 3 battles that I would like to do kind of all quickly on the next turn. Yikes. Got enough money to build another galleon in the city, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Probably will have to do merchandise everywhere else. The only reason I'm not just doing infinite produce merchandise on all those cities. Oh my gosh. Well, that army's gonna die if I don't move it. I can't believe the goblins didn't attack them. Where did all those units come from? Well, I guess I'm going to get them out of here. Evan, do you see where my army is that just went underground? There's a pretty big goblin army that could pop up out of that cave exit at any time. I have no idea why they didn't attack me, but just a heads up. Yeah, I'm gonna back up. I can't get back to the cave entrance because they're blocking it. So I'm gonna pull back over here so I can't get surrounded from 2 directions. They might be able to link up with my king's army later and help support him. I did not complete this quest for the goblins in time. My units kind of need a little more healing, so I'm going to give them some time. That is Heart of the Arctic, pretty close to a second Heart of the Arctic. I was under the impression that there was only 1 heart structure for each terrain type on the map, but that is clearly not the case. Okay, got fairly large armies closing in on a goblin city down here, so I will be able to capture that on the next turn. I think everyone can actually move 1 more space than that. Looks good. They've still got a lot of units down here. Plenty to cause a lot of trouble. Okay. Having them all wait. Okay, so 3 battles. In order of importance, this one first, the one from my island city second, and then the one with my archers third. Okay, go after these guys. Still says probable victory, but with the... I almost guarantee you they're going to cast Arachnid Horde. But with my spells, I could disjunct it. Plenty of casting points to do that, although he actually didn't cast it, which is a little bit surprising. Wonder why, or if he's waiting for some reason. Well, if he's going to rush his trebuchet out ahead of everything else, I'll gladly go kill that. In fact, I can already hit it a few times. These Storm Sisters, I don't think any of them have gold rank yet, but I think at least a couple should by the end of this battle. Okay, that Treb is probably not going anywhere. In fact, I may be able to kill it here. Not quite, but it's definitely not moving or shooting at anything. Ouch. I didn't really expect that all my units would survive this battle anyway. But the broader goal is to get more of these Storm Sisters promoted. The Griffin Riders are easily replaceable. I can build new ones in a single turn. Okay, he can finish that Treb, I think. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let those guys come a little closer so I can kind of swarm them with all of my units on the next turn. Just hit them with a ton of attacks. And preferably from multiple angles. Those 2 Shrines of Smiting, when you're a Necromancer, nothing to be trifled with. They can do a lot of damage very quickly. One of them might run in and just use Divine Vengeance since my units are piled up here a bit, but I don't think the other one will be able to. Oh, now he's casting Arachnid Horde. That thing did a ton of damage. I don't think any of my units actually died, but there's a lot of corpses lying on the ground. I should have cast that on the first turn, darn it. But I should have cast Desecration. But it's more important to try to disjunct this now. There, it finally worked. For once. Alright. That thing's got instant wrath, so that's going to be a pain, but I can just overwhelm it with Storm Sisters. Oh, I did lose a longbowman in that blast, unfortunately. Well, since he doesn't have to worry about getting hit back. What does it have that stunned me? I'm actually not sure why I got stunned there. Okay, cadavers just go get in their way. How many ranged units do I have left? I have enough Storm Sisters left. I should be able to take that one out, I think. Minimum of 18 damage times 3 is going to be pretty darn close. And with the critical hit, I've got this. Oh, this one did level up. She's got inflict stun. Wonder if this orc is powerful enough to take that thing out in one hit. It does have static shield. Okay. Well, we'll just get rid of that now. That High Elf Storm Sister is going to get squished. She does not have... I'm just going to sit here in her face on defense right now and see what they do. Ouch. Smite hurts. Oh. They did get the web. Alright, this battle is going badly pretty quickly. I think it's time for a little spell of my own. Which one of these would be better in this situation? I could get all the units that have died so far back as cadavers. Or use Chant of Unlife. This one is cheaper. And it would get me like 5 cadavers. This thing could probably come blow them all away with Divine Vengeance, though, which is a problem. But then I could re-revive them again. Unfortunately, I can't move them on this turn. Okay, so if this is the only Storm Sister with Inflict Stun, I have to be very selective in what I use it on here. I can't stun their Storm Sister. And these ones should be able to kill the spider pretty easily. Okay, that takes care of that problem at least. That other Storm Sister is going to be very resistant to my electricity magic, but not so much to the cadaver's poison if they can live long enough to hit her. So I will let them be the ones to do that. This Storm Sister should probably target the Goblin Evangelist. It's only a 20% chance to stun, but I did get it, and that helps. It's one of their tougher units, and they do a lot of spirit damage with their melee strike, so I didn't want to let them get too close. The Orc Spearman getting flanked is pretty vulnerable. This cadaver should be able to finish him. And then I can get 2 volleys of fire in on the Dwarf Forge Priest, and can actually kill that too. All the cadavers go on defense. That thing's Divine Vengeance could wreck a lot of units here if he uses it, though. Yep. Fortunately, the Storm Sisters have pretty high resistance, so a lot of them hung on. And that cadaver survived with just a little bit of health left. In fact, 2 of them did. Which opens up a good attack opportunity on that Storm Sister. She has total awareness. Forgot that they have that. That's something I should be aware of, considering I'm somebody who uses them. Storm Sisters can't be flanked. Instant Wrath, it's got it. That Shrine of Smiting has instant Wrath on it, so it's going to kill the cadaver if the cadaver attacks it. She's got Inflict Stun. She does not. I need to use the ones with Inflict Stun to go after that Shrine of Smiting. I've got to shut that thing down. And she did not get it. Okay, I have to get one of these other 2 promoted. Preferably the one with more health. And she got it. And I might... No, my Storm Sister died because of instant wrath. That Shrine of Smiting is still going to kill something on the next turn. Well, I can at least use up action points on that Storm Sister and do a little more damage to it. And just deal as much damage to that one as I guess I can. Any other useful spells here? Could raise Dead again, which could be enough to distract that Shrine of Smiting from attacking anything else. Doesn't get me that many units back, but it's something. And I'll do any little bit of damage on that I can. If I attack her, that prevents her from hitting literally anything this turn because she's out of movement points. And this cadaver will actually probably just go find something to eat if there's any corpses left. She's fairly well protected. I'm considering healing her, but I think it'd be better to use my other Storm Sister to do more damage to that Shrine of Smiting. I think I've still got this battle. This is not an easy one. Okay, that's fine if that's all he's gonna do. Move up and get as many hits on that as I can, and she does take it out. I have very little chance to stun her, but now the cadaver will do just fine. Eesh, that was an ugly battle, but I got it. Now I can't forget what I'm doing. I gotta get this city back. That's fine. Don't pop me down there. I'm trying to do something else up here. He's out of casting points, and I am not taking any chances with this stupid Shrine of Smiting that has killed so many of my units. I should be fine now. This battle should be over very quickly. But this thing's surprised me more than once. Okay, guys, go have fun. So I'm going to go ahead and guard break that. No, I'm not going to go ahead and guard break that thing. It's got Undead Slayer. I'll instead defend and let it lower its own guard. Meanwhile, she can do a little damage to it. That's what I thought. That's why I wanted to put the Storm Sisters on defense. Okay, he barely survived that encounter. So I'm glad I left him on defense. She can go ahead and patch him up a little bit. He's got Tireless, so can run out here, get a nice strong hit on this thing. Have her heal. Any Storm Sisters with movement left? Just this one. Okay, I could heal more, but I want to make sure that she gets the kill on this thing. Alright. That nuisance has finally been dealt with. And I got an Exalted out of it, which I will send down this direction. And then one last thing. This pesky city down here is going to have to go down too. Now for that one, I'm actually going to wait until the goblins stop moving so that I can safely move up and surround the city. So Cardinal Culling might actually be kind of cool. Target enemy unit, every unit like it has 40% physical weakness until the end of combat. The melee damage doesn't matter much to me because I'm planning on using that on Shrines of Smiting since they're building so many of them. Might also come in handy against the goblins. Okay, I already know I got those armies. Domain invasion at this city. That's annoying. That city's being attacked by independent units. I'll just send that army back up to get them after the turn's over. Or after they're done helping with this city down here. On that note, they might not need to because Teal doesn't have any casting points left. Oh, they did get a Shrine of Smiting down here. That's fun. And I didn't think they'd have this many units in that city. I'm actually going to cancel that attack. Attack with the archers instead, so the Draconians can go back. A lot of revenge in this episode, getting these Teal armies back that have been causing me so much trouble. But that's kind of to be expected because he is a Theocrat, so that nymph can't do anything against me. It can't convert me anyway, and does a fairly small amount of damage. Any of it spirit damage? They could just get lucky all the time. That's kind of annoying, but it happens. Alright, that Goblet Butcher is just going to get lit up by a firing squad here. At most 12. Yep, physical arrows still better against them. That'll look good. And don't want to forget about my Draconians up here. They just one-shot that poor archer. Alright, he is in range to get hit by several units. Go down here. Hit him once with the fire spitters. Little hatchlings. Hit him again with those flamers. Can get him again with these flamers and then hit him in the back with the raptor, which did a lot of damage. That's kind of nice. Now if this nymph would stop getting lucky, I could hopefully take her out. That doesn't seem like that's going to happen. She's gotten lucky 3 out of 4 times so far. I need to get that thing off of my other units. There we go, finally got rid of that. And I'll be fine. It's amazing how much easier this is when there are spiders spawning every turn. No! Oh, there goes a bunch of archers. Oops. Yeah, this thing's gotta go. Alright, pal. Critical hit there, that's nice. And then everybody else can just light him up with those arcane arrows. One problem with this strategy is without any support units down here, my units aren't going to heal. I guess they could sit in the city with the Embalmers Guild, though. I got several of those units back as undead ghouls. I'm going to send them back up to help deal with the other units that are threatening my city up here. Alright, so my king's army is going to kind of head this way underground. The goblins have cities up here in the northern part of the underground, and I may as well start taking those out too. It'd be nice if we could get into surrender. Don't know if that will happen, but it's a possibility. It just took the Draconians an awful long time to do so. Wait, what am I doing here? I want to build great temples. I did use a lot of magic on that turn, but I still have a little bit left to go ahead and start summoning another Chthonic Guardian. In fact, Shield of Dispassion apparently got disjuncted. So I'm going to put that back up. Already got the upgrade that can build the Stone Giant, or I can at least get it soon. I'm actually going to let that one sit in the queue, because I know I'm going to want that. Yeah, and then generate mana for everybody else. Okay, I'm going to have them sit there and guard that city. Tired of seeing that thing get captured. I think it is probably wisest to let this army catch up with my king. They kind of got separated from Evans when all those goblins showed up in this area, but my king's army being just a single stack probably wouldn't be bad to let him have some support. There are fairies in my way that I just want gone. So go away. There's a city out here I can capture too. One of those Archon cities. I'm going to clear this structure before it can cause any more trouble. Looking at the army that's in there, could probably do this auto combat. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm just gonna sell this for gold. That Blessed Totem of Health isn't a bad item. I guess I could have kept that, but right now I think I'd rather have the gold and just keep upgrading things, moving towards more casting points. I don't know where those animals went, so I'm going to leave that army in there for now. We'll probably continue making Griffin Riders for a little longer. Because I have Age of Death cast, I was going to make some Deathbringers, but that's really doing the trick for me there. I don't really think I need Reanimators on top of everything else. So I actually will continue to build Griffin Riders. I'm sorry, when I say Reanimators, I mean the Deathbringers. I don't think I really need more Deathbringers because of all the units that I'm getting from Age of Death anyway. Auto-combat that and just clear another heart structure. If that one gets in my borders, it'll give me some more casting points too. Although the giant borders don't expand, so that won't happen. And I'll just kind of slaughter some of these independent units that are running around and just generally being kind of annoying. Sure, you can run. I can clear these structures for new cities later. Don't know that we'll make it that far, but... Okay, what's my alignment at? I need to do something bad. No mercy. Nothing else, I'm just getting a bunch of gold and stuff from clearing all these structures. And presumably experience. And sometimes free units too, like these guys. Oh, Age of Death is really cool. Would have been much more useful earlier in the game, but I'm not going to complain. Okay, those archers take that city. Actually need to go back to my other city to get their life regenerated. This city has absolutely no useful structures in its terrain. Flowers of Solace plus a little bit of happiness, but not enough to do much of anything. Alright, let's see what the goblins have down here. This must be a vassal city. Yeah, this is just one of their vassals. Looks pretty easy to capture. Whoa, okay, that's cool. I don't know why it snapped me over there. Kind of trying to do stuff. Stop it. That's fine. Close. All right. Just attack with the one unit. Auto combat. Really easy. And gonna go after those spiders too. That column of champions would almost be worth going after too, but this army is big enough and powerful enough, it's just gotta, I'm gonna just keep moving with it. No more roads from here on out, so my units are going to slow down a bit. That city into a ghoul city. Back to this army over here that really got pretty beat up in that battle, more so than I really expected. With the other army that I'm building in Moldan, I'll just... Oh, I got some of their units though. Including an evangelist. I could convert their units to my side and then turn them into ghouls. That's another way of doing it, I suppose. Going to have them guard this city from any stragglers. Probably have them sit on that cave entrance. Although, let's go up a level so they can't get surrounded. I'm building more units in Moldan, so I don't think I have to worry too much about it. Okay, and then my Archer City, I'm going to have them pile up in there again too. Since the goblins seem to keep just jumping me with stuff underground. Getting into a war with the goblins underground is generally never a good idea anyway. I got a shock trooper when I attacked that other group. He's not quite in a position to be able to help me fight these things yet, but I'll be able to get them on the next turn. And speaking of the next turn, we're going to have to wait. This episode's already gone on for long enough, so this is probably going to be another longer one. My last one was a little longer than I'd prefer. But you can zoom out, get a context of the map here. Above ground, not a lot has changed for me anyway. I don't think Evan had Lemur during the last episode. I think he just got that. We see some goblin units down here in the water, kind of near where Evan's army is. He might have a pretty big naval battle with them in the next episode. We'll see how that goes. Underground, things are changed a little bit more. I've gotten some cities. I need to go get this one back. That's the one that got jumped by those independent units. But overall, underground, things going pretty well, and I did manage to clear out a lot of hostile armies this episode that were just sort of nagging me. So hopefully it'll be a straight shot to the goblins. They just have a lot of units down here, so they're not gonna go down without a fight, at least. Alright, everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Be sure to check out Evan's series in the link in the description. He does a very nice summary of the game and will give you input on what he's been doing this whole time. Hey everybody, one last thing, sorry about that. Completely glossed over this when I was looking at the map, but Evan actually has his main armies down here at the Goblins' Throne City ready to capture it. I don't know where the Goblins' leader is, so that won't actually end the game, but that'll be a significant blow and one that's definitely worth mentioning. Don't know how I didn't see that when I was looking at the map, but yeah, just completely missed it, so that's good news for us too. Alright, we'll see you in episode 26.